Good. Welcome to the Full Spectrum Defense studio sessions. Today we're going to be joined by a good friend of mine, Matt Cowles, and he's going to introduce himself. He's been a friend of mine for over 25 years. So we're going to do a quick introduction with him, and hopefully we'll do these about once a month. We're going to base these around a lot of self-defense stuff and self-defense tactics based on his experience, my experience, and do some comparisons to different martial arts and go from there. So hopefully you will enjoy this segment, and we hope to bring this to you back and forth about once a month. Segments are going to be between 5 and 10 minutes, so just some quick listening, just with some good ideas and some opinions as we go. All right, so thank you, and hope you enjoy. So we're here today with Matt Cowles. Matt and I have known each other for, it's got to be
27 years. I did the math on my.
Is that 27 years? Wow. All right, so we've both done a lot.
I was 16.
You were 16 then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would have been. I'd have been 23. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Kitchener right around that time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then we met through Rick a long time ago, and then we've stayed in touch kind of ever since. So we're looking to do some stuff on just self-defense here and stuff. We're going to be doing a bunch of talking back and forth. A lot of opinion stuff is what we're going to do. And today we're just going to kind of introduce kind of a few things. And Matt, just go through and tell us what you've done over the last bunch of years since you were in Kitchener. Just a quick rundown of.
Sure. As you know, I'm medically releasing and out of the military. So there's when I'm fully released, I won't be under OPSEC, so I can actually have some great conversations about things I've done tactically overseas and things, but we'll have to be completely out of the military to discuss some fun stuff.
Sure.
But going backwards, I got into martial arts and Wing Chun when I was 9. That's when I met a mutual friend of ours, so to speak. I trained with him till about the age of 17, 18. And when I moved to Kitchener, I started training in Muay Thai and boxing. And then from the age of 17 to about 23, I had a semi-pro career and with about 84 fights mixed in boxing, kickboxing, and low kick and some Muay Thai fights. And then I couldn't make a living at it. So around 23, 24, I ended up joining the Canadian Forces. Whereas my 2 years into the Canadian Forces, I ended up moving to Manitoba and then had my first tour in Afghanistan in 2006. And then in 2008, I had my second tour in Afghanistan. I still trained a lot. There wasn't a lot of guys that trained a lot of martial arts, and the mixed martial art era was starting to develop in the military. So back in 2007-8, we had a boxing and an MMA gym, even though it was still kind of raw at that time. There was a lot of different styles in the infantry. So I was a stand-up guy. There would be a wrestler. There'd be a judo. And we had so much free time in between tours that we'd put together ideas. And at the same time, CQB was becoming very popular, close quarter combat with guns, and that style of room entries were still raw. And the special forces were training the traditional armed forces with their style of way to clear rooms, and then it was coming back down to the base level of the infantry. So I was doing a lot of that. In 2009, I joined the close protection unit, which is called high risk close protection, and which was tryouts, and then you had to go down the United States and compete for positions. I was successful in 2009, and then I lived in the States for a while training. Then I had my third tour in 2010, working close protection for a year in Afghanistan. Came back in 2011, and I started teaching defensive tactics. So taking all the knowledge that we used to do as kids, training, all the combat ideas that we used to do, and then whittle it down to what they called defensive tactics, because close protection was predominantly a police trade, but policing has bad habits when it comes to close protection, meaning your intent in policing is not to take your VIP and get off the X from danger. The object of policing is to neutralize the situation without doing a little bit of harm as possible. In close protection, you want to do as much grievous bodily harm as possible, and then get out there while trying to preserve the life only of your VIP. See, it's contradictory from the
Right.
policing model to
Yeah.
the practical close protection model.
Right.
So we did that for a while, and then I switched from the infantry to the military police in 2012, where I was then working with the Special Forces military police to about 2 years ago, and that was in 2018, where I've been slowly changing my careers and getting out of the military, which is still due to COVID, and that the end date is now lost because of COVID has shut down all the political and paperwork for that
Right.
process.
Okay.
So I've had about 18 years in the military, right? About that, close to it.
Wow.
And 4 tours, 3 in Afghanistan, 1 in Africa.
Okay.
And so I've been operationally working. Now, when it comes to self-defense, I feel that my basics have gotten better, but it's all blended into one idea. I'm not a Muay Thai guy. I'm not a boxer. I'm not Wing Chun. I'm just kind of what like the word says behind you, a self-defense aspect.
And I think that's the thing that we're gonna brush a bunch on is that a lot of self-defense based tactics are always going to be not specifically to one art or another. It's going to be a combination of things that work and that are effective and mostly simple, right?
That's the main word, simple. Yeah.
Yeah, the complicated stuff is awesome to see in movies, and never usually plays out very well in the real life world. So it's
it's funny you say that because when you join the army, and especially in the special forces, know this, but keeping it simple, stupid is as a common phase in the army. I'm not too sure if you've ever heard that before, but simple, stupid.
Yeah, we use it all the time because
it's right. And they mean that more for weapon drills and trying to keep things simple under stress. That
right.
I tell this story a lot, but like sometimes people say to me, "Why did you do that during your boxing match or a kickboxing match?" I can't tell you why, because I don't remember. I don't remember because I was emotional and my heart rate was too high and I was no longer thinking. I was just reacting. So I was only doing things that I've repped out 10,000 times. Keeping it simple, stupid is the analogy we just used together. Yeah. So I agree that you have to keep it simple. And that's why a lot of styles like say Wing Chun, which I'm a big fan. I love the idea of it. I love the history of Wing Chun, but it's complicated when it comes to practical use unless you've spent a long time doing it and a long time under pressure doing it, which is why other styles like boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, a lot of karate stuff too, when they do their sparring, they can do things that are like under pressure. And without that, like for example, let's use Aikido. Why is Aikido not a popular style? Probably because it's a weapon based under theory. I don't know if you can actually train it to under a practical sense in a bar fight or an alley. You know what I mean? I don't know how you pressure test it.
Yeah, no, it's completely. I mean, and I think too that for people that are doing like career martial artists, I mean, they're gonna have their toolbox will be a little bit different than somebody that's not. But I mean, in the end, the stuff that's going to be effective anywhere is always going to be the simple stuff. It doesn't matter what system you're training.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with you.
Anybody that tells you otherwise probably has never really been in a fight. So, I mean, I've never yet seen any videos that have shown anything fancy from somebody getting beat up or hurt or being killed. It's always been the simpler things, and it just it effectively works on both sides.
Oh, sorry. The contractors here. I have a 2:00 appointment, and it's now 1:30, and they're a little early.
That's okay.
I'm getting my bathroom looked at.
Okay, cool. we can wrap this up for today because we'll just continue on as we do our talks, and we'll pick. Matt and I are going to pick different topics to talk about. This was just a quick intro for us to get
sure. I would love to. Yeah.
Full spectrum defense, and Matt will be doing a bunch of teaching with us as well. We're looking forward to joining and doing stuff together. So anyway, we'll let you go then.
Okay.
We will we'll talk soon then, Matt.
I apologize, by the way. They're walking in right now. Hey guys.
Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Matt.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. How do you turn this off?